Well, it's good to finally meet Yeoman, and those who listen to the No Say Project will recognize Yeoman as the contraband turkey farmer. So it's good to finally meet you. We're here in the Valley of the Sun. You're visiting, so it's good to meet you. Say, hello.
It's great to be here. It's great to finally meet the legendary warrior of legal land.
Oh, no, you, my friend. People, regular followers to the show are going to remember that your saga and what happened with the contraband turkey. So we were just talking about agorism, and that agorism is basically doing business, providing a service with better services, better rates than government, and doing it without permission. So just take a couple moments and explain, what you did. By how you sold turkey and poultry products to the market, and that you didn't ask for permission, and then what happened because of that.
For many years, I farmed in the region of the country known as Texas, and we grew pastured eggs, broiler chickens, and turkeys, and grass-finished beef, and the poultry was totally unregulated. We just Our focus was to grow a clean, healthy product, processed it there on the farm without any government inspectors or supervision. Customers were always happy. We always had great demand. And we just basically supplied a superior quality product at a fair price to people that appreciated it and people that did not care one iota whether it was inspected by the government at all. So
now, we had an Agent Lord that testified under oath regarding, and this is all available on the website. Most of the entire cross-examination is at marcstevens.net. But he testified that, and you were on the phone, that there were no complaints. And so how many years did you actually provide the market with your product?
We provided that product to our customers for probably roughly 15, 16 years.
15, 16 years?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so Agent Lord testified that during this time that there were no complaints.
Right. There were no complaints from anyone. There was never an issue of the quality. That was not the issue. The issue was we didn't have their permission.
Right, because you remember the hearing officer said to me, and this is again available in the cross-examination on the website, marcstevens.net, that I was misunderstanding what was going on. That they said, Mr. Stevens, you continue to misunderstand. Your client, Yeoman, is not accused of any wrongdoing. He's accused of noncompliance. So I think, and this came out also during the cross, had you submitted to inspection, there wouldn't have been an issue. I mean, you would have passed had you submitted to it.
It's possible once a person applies for permission, which is what they wanted to. That's what they wanted. They wanted me to comply, to basically ask their permission to do something. Then you fall into a whole bunch of rules regarding your facilities, how they're built, how the actual physical facilities are set up, and are the walls made with impervious cover and that, and things which had absolutely nothing to do with turning out a quality product. So we never, it just didn't feel like that had anything to do with turning out a quality product.
And obviously your customers did not.
Yeah, customers did not care one bit about that.
Right, and throughout the ordeal, we'll call it that, because nobody wants these people in their lives. And Agent Lord seemed like a fairly decent guy. But while we were doing all this in the hearings, which went on for a number of years, you never stopped selling turkey.
Right. Yeah, we just kept doing what we knew to do. And again, our perspective on the whole thing from the beginning was this was our calling, literally our vocation, our calling, and that's what we.
Don't hit the tape.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry, but it was your calling.
Yeah. The way we looked at our farming is it was our calling, our vocation. It's something that and calling is, I mean, it's what we felt like God wanted us to do. Our place in the big scheme of things was to supply clean, healthy food for people. So consequently, since we felt like it was our calling, government really didn't have anything to do with it, so we never asked their permission. We didn't ask anything from them, and like Solzhenitsyn said, we don't believe them, we don't fear them, and we don't ask anything of them.
And so what would you say to somebody who is maybe on the fence about providing the services or their products to the market on a voluntary basis without asking for permission?
Well, it's a good question, and again, I come at it from as a Christian. I try to come at it from the perspective of we didn't do it because we thought we were going to get rich. We didn't go into it because we thought that was where the big bucks were at. We did make a good living from it, but we did it because we felt it was our calling, and that does a lot to remove any fear. If you're doing something for the right motives, for proper motives to serve others and to provide something of quality service or product to others, that's a good thing, and you can do it without fear because you know you're doing the right thing.
Right. Now, you think that because you were personally responsible, so if you had delivered an inferior product because you were personally responsible, because you weren't looking to the government, like you said, for anything, you weren't a corporation and had some kind of corporate veil to protect you. So maybe you believe that the fact that you had personal responsibility to the people that you had these relationships with over these, over a decade, that had something to do with, or to motivate you, or to have you deliver to your customer the product that they were asking for.
Exactly. And because of that feeling of personal responsibility and accountability to my customers, we wanted to treat them like we were treated. So it's a higher standard than the standard that some disinterested, uninvolved, third-party entity like government could ever provide. People would ask us if we were inspected, and we said absolutely. We're inspected by the toughest inspector of all, and that's our customers.
Yeah.
Because if we fail them, we're out of business. If you fail a government inspection, you look at all the big meat packers that fail government inspections all the time. A week later, after a fine or something, they're back in business. We knew that if we failed the customer, we'd lose a customer, and so we always had that in mind as we're providing those products.
And not only that customer, you could potentially be out of business, period, because word could get around.
Yes.
That, hey,
yes,
Yeoman over here is not providing a very good service.
Yep.
It ruined my business, because you also used to send to restaurants. Okay, so what we're saying, it's not just where you could lose the one customer, but you could lose your whole business if you didn't provide the service. Yeah, word got around.
Word gets around that you're providing an inferior product, then yeah, you can be out of business, and that can be a pretty powerful motivator that keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, because you have what a lot of businesses don't have, and this is where a lot of people have an issue as far as, well, corporations, will destroy the planet if there's a voluntary society. That's the thing. In a voluntary society, you wouldn't have the corporations. It would be people just like you and I, that when you do a business, you are personally responsible to the customers that you are providing the services to.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they're not happy,
yep, you're out of business.
You're out of business. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, Yeoman, and again, everyone, this is what a voluntarist looks like, a true agorist, and you've been an inspiration to many people. People have called and they've mentioned how they were on the fence about agorism or doing business without asking for permission, and you are an example, a real-life example. I mean, I didn't realize it was actually that long. I didn't know, I figured 4 or 5 years. But I didn't realize it was well over a decade, so it was actually a very well-established business, and so I appreciate your time.